Right, it's October something, right? And guess what? Right, so we're going to read about, there's 43 curses. We're going to read 3, right? We're going to see these apply to. Read verse 16.
No.
Verse 16. Cursed shall I be in the city.
Now, God said one of the first curses that his people are going to be cursed in the cities, all around America, all around the world. From Indianapolis, how are people living in the cities? They live bad, right? Hey, I'm from Chicago. Guess what? It's horrible over there. It's bad over there. But God said his people are going to be cursed in the cities. Hey, go to South America. How do our people live? Do they live in the hills or they live in the barrios, right? They live in the slums. Hey, that's how you know that's talking about our people. A Jewish man owns our cities, man.
That's right.
He owns everything in this. He owns your media. He owns your entertainment. He owns everything. He owns your sports, right? But guess what? God said his people, the Israelites, are going to be cursed in the city. Read on.
And cursed shall I be in the field.
Now, when was the Jewish man ever in the slave fields? When? He funded the lumber for the slave ships. He was never in the field like us, man. The cotton fields, the strawberry fields, right? The damn sugar cane fields. That's talking about our people. That's curse number 1. Right? Read verse 54.
Verse 54. So that the man that is tender among you and very
Because
delicate.
there was a point in time where our people was tender and very delicate to each other. Right? You know, we had a feast days, kind of packing up the plates, bringing it to the brother, you got stuff to eat. You know, things like that. As a nation, I didn't even have to know you. Right? But guess what? What's going to happen in these times? You know?
His eye shall be evil toward his brother.
God said the Israelite man in these days, his eyes always going to be evil towards his brother. Right? Every gathering that we have is either going to end in a damn shootout, the police is going to be called, right? Hey, you can never be around our people for more than like damn 30 minutes and there's an argument, man. Right? Because guess what? God said his people, his eyes going to be evil toward their brother. Right, read on.
And toward the wife of his
We
bosom.
get our women and guess what? We talk about them, right? We kind of, slut shame them, right? We kind of beat them, right? We do all types of madness to our women, right? Read on.
And toward the remnant of his children, which he shall lead.
He's going to stay.
Which he shall lead. Which he shall lead.
Now, what proverbs are our people that we don't stand on that? Right? We just get up and there we go. Right? Even in South America, when they say dad is leaving, right? He just crying back to God. Guess what? Right now, I've been talking about all the time. Hey, I'm from the tribe of Benjamin, so-called Jamaican. Hey, a lot of my brothers, they get deported, man. Right? The fathers, they have a family here, and guess what? They deported. Now they going back to their country. They can't come back into America. Now the child is raised up without no father, man. Right? That happened to a lot of my friends and family, man. Right? What should we say?
This is the book of Esther, chapter 7 and verse 4.
Yeah.
For we are sold, I and my people.
Right? Well, for we are what?
For we are sold, I and my people.
We were sold, right? I and our people. You know what?
To be destroyed, to be slain, and to perish. But if we have been sold for bondmen and bondwomen, I had held my tongue.
Right.
Although the enemy could not countervail the king's damage.
And guess what? We were slain. Right? We were in bondage. We were all those things, man. Because those are God. Hey, guess what? That's another witness. We're going to read another one for you, too. Read that.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 26 and verse 17.
Read it out.
And I will set my face against you,
Right.
and ye shall be slain because your enemies.
So I read that again.
So verse 17. And I will set my face against you,
Right.
and ye shall be slain before your enemies.
Hey, guess what? God's people are now being slain before his enemies to this very day.
That's
right.
You worried about why we had them damn protests last year for George Floyd? Because that prophecy came true. That's why the protests happened. Not because George Floyd was, he died. Not because the officer was white. It's because God's word came true.
You know,
and a lot of people don't know that. God's words came true, so the whole world went into an uproar over one man.
That's right.
And guess what? The Most High can do it again. And it's going to keep happening and happening and happening until we get right in these last days.
That's right.
We've seen our brothers get right in these last days. We finally get it. Right? Read on. Read on.
They that hate thee, you shall reign, Salakia, you shall reign over you.
Right? So they that hate us reign over us. Right? They that hate us, we got to go to their stores. Right? We got to go get their food. Right? We got to work in their damn companies. Right? We got to do all of these different things because they reign over us. And those are the same people that hate us. The Edomites. Right? And guess what? The Most High made them manifest right before us. That's right. The Edomites. Read on.
And ye shall flee when none pursueth you.
Right? Sorry, please go back to Deuteronomy. Right? And guess what? That's another witness just showing who we are today. So these are precepts you can prove to show that you're an Israelite. So nobody can just say, no, you're not an Israelite. Right? You really damn black or you a Mexican, whatever, man. No, you're an Israelite from the tribe of Italian.
That's right.
Right? And you got Bible precepts to show that. Right? Read that in verse 68.
Verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt, again.
So the Lord said, I'm going to bring you into slavery again. Right? Egypt means slavery in the Bible, right? Because we never went back into ancient Egypt again as a people, right? And guess what? You don't need ships to get into ancient Egypt. So how are we gonna go into slavery now?
With ships.
What?
With ships.
Now people went into slavery on ships. Y'all was already over here, but y'all got taken back to Spain, right? Portugal, right? Europe, all types of during the transatlantic slave trade, man. Right? There's literally a damn triangle of our people just going around, right? You know?
By the wherewithal I spake unto thee.
Same way the Most High said it, right?
Thou shalt see it no more again.
We've never seen our homeland in over 2,000 years.
That's right.
Since 70 AD, right? When the Romans came and took our homeland. You know?
And there you shall be sold unto your enemies.
There, when you get off those ships, you are sold into your enemies. Master Johnson, Cortez, what's your last name? Mendoza, right? All of these different people, guess what? You're sold to our enemies. You know?
For bondmen and bondwomen.
Right.
And no man shall buy you.
Right, in Hebrew, buy means cannot mean to redeem, and nobody redeemed us out of our slavery. Because you have laws of redemption out of getting, get your brother out of slavery or indentured servitude. But God said this slavery, you're not going to be able to be bought from. Right? Nobody's going to be able to save you from this thing. Right? Marcus Garvey couldn't do it. Right? All of our forefathers, they couldn't do it. Only Yahweh Shah Mashiach for the world called Jesus Christ can redeem us from our land of our enemies.
That's right.
Right? Go to Luke 1:68. Right? Only Jesus Christ can only save our people. Right, and the Most High is gonna make sure of it. So anybody, you got a damn Al Sharpton or anybody else, they can't redeem our people. Right, we're waiting. You know, go to Proverbs 22.
This is the book of Luke, chapter 1 and verse 68.
Yo!
Blessed be the Lord God of Israel,
Right,
for he hath visited and redeemed his people.
His people, our people. Right, we don't.
And hath raised up an horn of salvation for us in the house of his servant David. As he spake by the mouth of his holy prophet.
Right, he's raised up a horn of salvation for our people, right? We don't.
Which have been since the world began.
Right.
That we should be saved from our enemies.
That we should what?
That we should be saved from our enemies.
That's the purpose of Jesus Christ. Yahweh Shah Mashiach to save us from our enemies. Right, we don't.
And from the hand of all that hate us.
And from the hand of all them that hate us. Read that. 20 and 2. Yeah, Proverbs 20 and verse 22.
Con, this is the book of Proverbs, chapter 20 and verse 22.
Now, with that being said, now we got to be patient. Right? We can't do anything too drastic. Right? We got to wait for the Lord because he's going to raise us up. Now, read that.
Say not thou, I will recompense evil.
Say not, I'm going to pay back any evil. Right? It would be a bad thing for me to put these two Edomites to death.
That's right.
I'll go to jail for life and it'll be vain. Right? I want to teach my people, so guess what I'm going to do? You know?
But wait on the Lord.
Do what?
But wait on the Lord.
Lord.
And he shall save thee.
I will save you.
And he shall save thee.
You gotta wait on the Lord and he shall save us. Right? You gotta teach your people who they are. Come back to the law, statutes, commandments. Get you some friends. Right? Build yourself up in the scriptures. Start with the milk. Right? And all go to 1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 1. Right? Read that, King. Zephaniah 3:8.
Zephaniah chapter 3 verse 8.
Yo.
Therefore, wait ye upon me,
right?
saith the Lord.
So therefore, wait you upon me, saith the Lord. Right? Read on.
Unto the day that I rise up to the prey.
Because the Most High is going to rise up to the prey in that day. He's going to rise up to the prey and we're going to devour them. Read on.
For my determination is to gather the nations,
right?
That I may assemble the kingdoms to power, to pour upon them my indignation.
And that's what the Most High plans to do, is raise up his power against the kingdom, his indignation, right? So that's why we got to wait on the Lord. Because us doing anything right now, it ain't going to be what? Killing him. It ain't going to do nothing. The Most High, he said, fear him. That can destroy the body and the spirit. In Matthew chapter 10. Right? He can do things that we can't even imagine. Right? He made you. He made your damn molecular cell level. Right? You see the way people die in America, people die in the world. The Most High creates that. Right? You got to understand.
It's the book of Psalms.
Is there more than enough?
Even all my fierce anger for all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy.
Right? And that's what the Most High is going to do. That's why we wait on the Lord. Before we get that, read Psalms chapter 27. Yeah, Psalms 27.
It's the book of Psalms, chapter 27, and verse 14.
Bring it out.
If his children be multiplied.
It's the book of Psalms, chapter 27. 27.
Verse 14.
Verse 14. Wait on the Lord.
What the Lord say?
Wait on the Lord.
Be of good courage, and he shall strengthen thy heart.
Right.
Wait.
What does the Lord say?
Wait.
Right.
I say on the Lord.
And that's what we got to do. We got to wait on the Lord, man. Right? And that's like I said, that's why we out here teaching our people waiting on the Lord. Right? Well, as you're waiting on the Lord, what should you must do? What is 2 Timothy 2:15? Right? So, yeah, I got some. It's 3 Timothy.
This the book of Psalms, chapter 131 and verse 1.
Read it out.
Yahweh, my heart is not haughty,
Right.
nor mine eyes lofty.
Right, so we can't be prideful. Right, as we're getting built up in this thing, as our journey begins as an Israelite, right, you gotta learn how to be humble in this thing too. Right,
Neither do I exercise myself in great matters.
And when you come into this thing, when you understand who you are, you want to exercise yourself in great matters. Things that really don't matter to your salvation. Right?
Or in things too high for me.
Right, you don't want to get into things too high. Like, as you see with the brother that was walking down, he was in things that was too high for him. That's why I brought out Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. The whole conclusion of the matter is, friend, just keep the commandments. That's all we got to do. That's all we got to focus on. You want to focus on something different. Now, if he doesn't, like you said, the brother doesn't repent, his judgment is death. Right? Because the brother didn't want to listen. Even King David said, I'm not going to exercise myself on matters too high for me. Right,
Verse 2.
Right.
Surely I have behaved and quieted myself as a child that is weaned of his mother.
Yeah, King David said, I behaved myself and quieted myself as a child. That brother wasn't quieting himself as a child. He kept wanting to talk. All right,
my soul, even as a weaned child, let Israel hope in the Lord from henceforth and forever.
Right, so for Israel henceforth and forever. But you got to wean yourself as a baby, as a child. And what do babies need to eat? What do they need to eat? Milk, right? Read that. First Peter.
It's the book of 1 Peter, chapter 2 and verse 1.
Right, notice he didn't say steak. Right, notice how he didn't say damn carrots or anything. He said milk. Read that.
2 and 2. As newborn babes.
As what?
As newborn babes.
Right.
Desire the sincere milk of the word.
Right, you got to desire the sincere milk of the word, right, which is the laws, the statutes, and commandments.
That ye may grow thereby.
Right.
This is the book of 1 Peter, chapter 1 and verse 23.
Yeah.
Being born again.
Being what?
Being born again. Not of corruptible seed, but of incorruptible. By the word of Yahweh, which liveth and abideth forever.
Which liveth and abideth forever. But you got to be born again with that milk and with that spirit. Now, right, you got 1 Timothy 2:15. We're going to study to show us how
Book of 2 Timothy chapter 2 and verse number 15.
Yeah.
Study to show thyself approved.
And that's what you got to do. When you get, because I can be lying to you. Right, these brothers can be reading false scriptures. Right, you got to go home, you got to open up the Bible. But they lying to me. Right, are these precepts real? Can I really go to you? You got to study it for yourself. You got to study to show yourself approved. Not for what the brothers said, not what the brothers in Indianapolis, they said I'm an Israelite, right? No, you gotta say you're an Israelite, you gotta be able to prove it. Right, read on.
Unto Yahweh, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed.
Right, don't be ashamed to put in the work for the Lord, man. That's how you get built up as a mighty man.
That's right.
Let's go on there. You go to, hold that, go to Nehemiah 4:6. Read on.
Rightly dividing the word of truth.
And ultimately, you're going to become a teacher, and you're going to rightly divide the word of truth. Right? You're going to know what precepts to give brothers in times of need. Right? Brother may be feeling down bad. Right? Hey, guess what? You got to give him precepts of hope. Brother may not know who he is. You got to give him precepts on who he is, bro. Right? That's how you rightly divide the word of truth. But you got to study first. Right? You got that 1 Timothy 4:13.
It's the book of 1 Timothy chapter 4 and verse 13.
Yeah. And I see that. We see that. Read on.
Till I come, give attendance to reading.
Right? What the Lord say?
Till I come, give attendance to reading.
That's what the Lord means by wait on him. Right? You got to study. Right? Read on.
To exhortation.
Right? We exhort. Read on.
To doctrine.
Right?
Neglect not the gift that is in thee.
What the Lord say?
Neglect not the gift that is in thee.
It's a gift that's already in you from the foundation of the world. And you too, brother. Right? And you too, brother. Right? Hey, there's gifts that are in us, and we come back to repent as Israelites. You know?
Which was given thee by prophecy.
Right, by prophecy.
With
the Lord already spoke from the beginning. Are we on?
With the laying on of the hands of the presbytery.
Right?
Meditate upon these things.
What the Lord say?
Meditate upon these things.
What brother got to do?
Meditate upon these things. Give thyself wholly to them.
Oh, yeah, you got to give yourself wholly into those things that we're bringing out. Right? Is that on that?
That thy profiting may appear to all.
Right, so your prophet can appear to all. You can be an example to other people. Right, so once you start shining, once you start proving yourself, you start right, providing the word of truth, you're exhorting your people, building up your nation. Guess what? A lot of people are going to see that thing. Right, read that.
The book of Nehemiah, chapter 4 and verse 6.
Right.
So built we the wall, and all the wall was joined together.
So this is your mindset that you need in this thing. Read on.
Unto the head thereof.
Right.
For the people had a mind to work.
For the what?
For the people had a mind to work.
Have a mind to work. You gotta have a mind to run. Hey, you see how people in this capture, they got a mind to work. They get up at 3 a.m. to go to work every day. Right? Hey, there's some people that get up to work and go 3 a.m. for the last 20 years. Right? They ain't never missed a day. Right? They had a mind to work. And they gotta get it how they live. They gotta be like that for the truth. Right? You gotta be like that for the Most High. So I go to Matthew chapter 9. Right? And go to the last verse. Right? You gotta be like that for the Lord. You gotta put in a lot of work for the Lord in these last days because you don't got enough time. We don't got a lot of time. What's going on, brother? You know your nationality? You know your nationality? Yeah, where are we from? From the Most High. Are we His people? What nation are we? He created 18 nations, right? Go to Acts chapter 17. Yeah, go to Acts 17:26. Right, because God made a lot of nations on the earth. He made a lot of people, right? And somebody can contest that, hey, you know, Asians are children of God, right? But guess we gotta read something.
It's the book of Acts chapter 17 and verse 26.
Yeah.
They have made of one blood all nations
So God made from Adam one of all nations of what? We don't believe.
all nations of men,
Right.
for to dwell on all the face of the earth,
Right.
and have determined the times before appointed and the bounds of their habitation.
Exactly. So you gotta figure out what nation we belong to. Brother, you'll find out we belong to the nation of Israel.
That's
your
right.
nationality?
It's right there.
What's your nationality? What's your nationality? What's your nationality? The word what's your nationality? Yeah. Zebulon. You're an Israelite from the tribe of Zebulon.
Zebulon.
That's the first thing that should come out your mouth.
That's right.
Right? That's because you're an Israelite. That should be second nation. No.
That's right.
You're an Israelite. That must be Israel. You're an Israelite. Most likely from the tribe of Judah. Right? And we're going to show you that. Right? Which one? Matthew 9. Yeah.
It's the book of Matthew chapter 9 and verse 38.
Yeah.
Pray ye therefore the Lord of the harvest, that he will send forth laborers into his harvest.
Right, because there's a lot of work to do out here. We have a lot of people that's lost out here. The Lord said we need more laborers in the harvest. We need more brothers up here on every corner preaching the word before I come back, man. Telling they people who they are. Because we got a lot of lost souls out here. We got a lot of lost sheep, man. We got to pray for more laborers into the harvest. You ever worked at a job and the staff just started quitting? Right now you have more work to do. Right, you're like, damn, I gotta come in again on my off day. Right, hey, guess what? And you want more people to get, be hired through that thing. So hey, lessen up the workload. We want more brothers in this truth.
Right.
That was it on that? All right, we should go. Right, 5 to 12. All right, come. We're going to go to Deuteronomy 10 and 15. But I want to show the brother that he's the greatest people on the face of the planet, and that the Most High chose you. And that's your daughter. The Most High chose you and your daughter. So right, he didn't choose everybody else. Right, read that.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 10 and verse 15.
Yeah.
Only the Lord had a delight in thy fathers.
Only the Lord had a delight in our forefathers. Read on.
To love them.
What?
To love them.
He loves everybody.
To love them.
Read on.
And he chose their seed after them.
And he chose our seed after us. Right, so and guess what? As we keep reproducing, he's only still going to be with our nation. Right, go to Lamentations 3 and 22. Right, go to Malachi chapter 11. Right? Because the Most High, his mercies are not consumed. Why do you think we're still here as a people? If these other nations wanted to destroy us and keep us off the face of the earth, don't you think they would have done that already? Right? Don't you think they put guns in our neighborhoods? Don't they destroy our drinks in our food? Right? Put all types of damn abortion clinics in our neighborhood? They're trying to destroy us. Don't you think they destroy our communities? Don't you think they would have killed us off the face of the earth? We're gonna read why they had our left hand. Yeah, Lamentations 3 and 22.
It's the book of Lamentations, chapter 3 and verse 22.
No.
It is of the Lord's mercies that we are not consumed.
Right, so it's of the Lord's mercies that we're not consumed as a nation. Have you ever heard that we're the most enduring people? We've been through everything. We ain't received nothing, and we still here fighting.
Sorry.
Right, read on.
Because his compassions fail not.
Right.
They are Salakia. They are new every morning.
That's it on the read that.
This is the book of Malachi, chapter 3 and verse 6.
Bring it out.
For I am the Lord, I change not.
God does change.
I change
not.
So God doesn't change. Read on.
Therefore, ye sons of Jacob are not
That's
consumed.
why we're not consumed. Right, because God doesn't change. His chosen in the Old Testament is his chosen to this very day.
That's right.
Nothing's gonna change. Right, we gotta understand. Right, go to the book of Jeremiah. Right. Jeremiah chapter 31. Start at verse 37.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 31 and verse 37.
Yeah.
Thus saith
Start at verse 36.
Salakia, Jeremiah 31 and verse 36. If those ordinances depart from before me, saith Yahweh.
So if the sun, if the moon, right, if the earth, if they depart, meaning if they just stop, right, the sun doesn't come up tomorrow, and if the moon doesn't come up tonight, you know,
then the seed of Israel also shall cease from being a nation before me forever.
so then the next time you see the sun don't come out or the moon doesn't just shine in the sky like it does every day, that's when we're gonna stop being a nation to God, right? That's when that's when the Most High is gonna cast us off. But as you know, tomorrow morning and the day after that, the sun gonna come up.
That's right.
Right? You know, and you know the sun gonna go down, and you know what's gonna come up next. So guess what? We still God's people. You know?
Verse 37, thus saith Yahweh, if heaven above can be measured,
Right? If you can measure the firmament of heaven, right, from one end of the earth to the other end of the earth, you know?
and the foundations of the earth searched down beneath,
Right?
I also would cast off all the seed of Israel for all they that have done, saith Yahweh.
Even all the iniquities and the stuff we have done to our God, for the Most High to cast us off, you gotta be able to measure the stars, you gotta be able to measure the damn ends of the earth, and you wonder why the so-called white man do all these different things, right? They taking God up on his word. But hey, guess what? We're never, right? We're never gonna be able to cease as a nation.
That's
Right?
right.
You got the so-called white man trying to crack the firmament. They trying to find out how long the earth is. It's 3,063 kilometers, right? They can't do it because it was still here. They trying to do everything, man. Right? The big war operation. Right? They trying to come up. Right? Trying to make the most of this stuff dealing with us. It's impossible. Right? We are his chosen. We are his chosen. You don't understand that. Right?
This book of Hosea, chapter 1 and verse 10.
Yeah.
Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea.
You can't number us. Talking about we 13% in America. I don't believe that. Right? Read that.
Which cannot be measured nor numbered.
Right.
And it shall come to pass that in that place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people.
Right, because it was in this place that we were called niggas, spigs, right? All of these different bywords, whores, thoughts, right? Bad deeds, right? Gangsters, thugs, right? We don't.
There it shall be said unto them,
Right in the place of America, right? We don't.
ye are the sons of the living
What
God.
is this, man?
Ye are the sons of the living God.
It's the same place you're gonna be called the sons of the living God.
Come.
Right? The daughter of the living God. That's the princess of God. Right? It's in the same place, right? We gotta show you something. So like we were showing him the curses. Who's still going to bring out the curses of God? Did you understand the curses we bring out? Deuteronomy 28 again. Yeah, so that's how you can prove who God's people are. It's about the curses. And we read some of the curses. Remember one of the curses? Exactly. By ships, right? Be scattered. Right? Yes, be scattered abroad. Right? That's one of the verse 16.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 64.
You.
And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people.
What the Lord say?
And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people.
Sisters, y'all listening? Reading it? Oh, I got you. All right, this is one of the curses that God put on our people. All right, read that again.
And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people.
Right, read on.
From one end of the earth, even unto the other.
Because we started at one end of the earth, and then we came over here on slave ships, and now we're at the other end of the earth. That's a curse in the Bible, the Holy Bible. Right, read on.
And there thou shalt serve other gods.
And we serve other gods to this very day. Like, for example, y'all grandma, do they believe in